So as art teachers, students and photographers, we are surrounded by media every day. We are surrounded by cameras every day. And I think we often forget the main reason for taking pictures is about stories, telling stories. I've been very fortunate to be able to live in Asia for a long time and to be able to do street photography in some of the most beautiful cities in the world. And it didn't only change me as a person, but it also made me a better artist. And when I came back to South Africa, I was really, really encouraged, and I was really looking forward to take photos and especially to pursue street photography. But I was faced with a lot of different challenges and obstacles that made it so difficult and at times almost impossible to do street photography. So in this video, I'm going to look at ways that I've been trying to find my way around some of these obstacles and things that can make it a bit easier to actually pursue street photography in especially the Joburg area. But before we do that, I just quickly want to talk about storytelling. If you want to see the purest example of what creative storytelling looks like, we find this in the parables. Jesus didn't shout moral instructions or hammer people with guilt. He told beautiful stories, simple stories, relatable ones. Stories set in everyday places like vineyards, farms, fishing boats, and homes. And through his parables, Jesus revealed deep spiritual truths without forcing anything on his audience. He didn't just tell people what to believe, he invited them to see themselves in the story. He showed the truth. When wrapped in humanity and creativity and with compassion, it becomes both powerful and respectful. And I think this is the model. And for street photographers, this is also the challenge. So street photography at its best isn't about snapping strangers or capturing people like trophies. Instead, your camera should function like a parable. Not to slap people with a message, but to gently reveal the truth, to wrap it in respect, frame it with creativity, and to tell it with love. And I think this is where gear matters less, but it still plays a very big role. Because how you approach people and what you carry can either build trust or it can just erode it. That's why a small, subtle setup when it comes to photography, and especially in South Africa, really, really matters. So I haven't taken a lot of photos with this combo, but this is hopefully the combo that I think can work in South Africa, and especially in the Joburg area. So I've been using the Fujifilm X series for a while now, and I had a Fujifilm X-T20 camera since around about 2014. And by combining this camera with a Viltrox 28mm f4.8 pancake lens, I think that this might just be the perfect setup for street photography in South Africa. Why? Firstly, by using this, it is very inexpensive. Well, you can actually buy both the lens and the camera on the second-hand market for around about 7,000 Rand. The less expensive your gear, the easier it is to walk around in especially crowded places, and obviously the safer it is. As a photographer, you don't want to show off, you want to blend in, and you just want to be another person walking through life, noticing things. This combo doesn't scream, I am a professional, I'm here to take photos, but it whispers, I'm here to listen. This lens specifically is very, very small, and I can literally fit the camera with the lens attached in my pocket, in my jacket pocket, or even in my jean pocket. The field of view of this specific lens, the 28mm lens on this sensor, is more or less equivalent to a 42mm on a normal camera, or on a medium format camera. And it's almost exactly what your eye sees. So this makes it perfect for taxi ranks, things like sidewalk conversations, market activity, and small human moments with big emotional weight. So you're not zooming in from a distance, but you are actually inside the story. And it's almost like you're like Jesus sitting beside a well or walking a dusty road with strangers. The next thing about this lens is the fixed aperture, and this really helps. When you are doing street photography, you don't necessarily need a shallow depth of field, and you actually want exactly the opposite when you're doing street photography. This lens offers you deep focus, light weight, and fast shutter speeds without any distractions. So you can see the full context, and that specific context that gives meaning to a specific moment. So Jesus didn't preach from palaces, he didn't carry wealth or status, he moved through ordinary spaces and spoke in everyday languages. Yet, his story changed the world. And I think this should be our template. In the same way, you don't need expensive or huge or big gear to be effective. You need honesty, restraint, and a creative eye. Not for drama, but for dignity. And that's where this compact, replaceable setup shines. It doesn't draw attention, it invites moments, and it keeps you grounded in the art of observation. Now I want you guys to go tell stories and go out there. You can use some of these tips and some of these equipment if you want to, but I want you to go out there and tell beautiful stories, not with a megaphone, but with a heart that listens. Because sometimes the most divine things show up in the most extraordinary places. I hope you guys enjoy that, and we will do some more talks about specifically photography and visual arts on this channel. And if you want to, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.